Alright, what's going on, guys? I am Dre from Ambot Tuned, and this is the start of the YouTube channel. This is to give you guys a show. This is me and my wife's 2018 WRX, and then we got the 06 Evo 9. She mainly drives this car, I mainly drive that one. They're both really good cars. If you guys didn't know, I tune a lot of WRXs mainly. I started out on the Evo platform, but kind of slowly got into the WRX platform. Today, I am working on the Evo. I finally just did the battery relocation. It's still kind of like the mock-up, but it's pretty much done. I drove it last night with no problems, and I'm gonna show you guys. It's kind of dirty, so don't judge me, but I gotta fix it up. Got the red top battery with the 150 amp fuse with a 2-gauge wire running all the way to the front. I had just got the fusible link in today. I kind of had a makeshift. You guys are probably gonna laugh at me about this, right? You guys are probably gonna laugh really hard at this, but so this is my makeshift little holder for right now. I just got it from Home Depot. It's for electrical stuff. You know, here goes the 2-gauge wire right here into the main, just to run it for right now. I know it's kind of like a ghetto way of doing it, but just decided to do it that way. So I thought my other pieces were supposed to come in today, like the red cover and the fusible, not the fusible link, but the actual black piece. But I think they're coming in tomorrow, which kind of sucks. But I did. Now this engine is a fully built 10.5 compression motor. Let's see, I did GSC. It's pretty much a GSC head. So GSC S2 cams, the Beehive high rev springs. It's a 2.0. I think I did mainly H-Tufts, the new ones that just came out, just to test them out. I did tune this car. It is on stock turbo, by the way. And on, I think, FIC. I need to change out these FICs, man. I think these are 1250s, but I think I have a little bit of drivability issues with them. I'm not totally sure, but it is stock turbo. I did kind of just throw everything together, so all this will be changing. I'll get rid of the stock turbo, get rid of this, because I am on SD, get rid of this piping, get some nicer stuff going in there. I did tune the car, and it made, I think it was like 350. I think it made like 350, 340 at 20 PSI on pump gas. I haven't tuned it on E85 yet, even though there should be E85 on this car. So I did remove the balance shafts, and I had just ordered the fluid dampener. Now I'm hoping this gets rid of some of the vibration that I have been getting with the car. I'm not saying it's gonna get rid of all of it, but I think it should help a good amount, because there is a lot of vibrations, I guess, due to the balance shaft delete. Now onto the WRX. All it has is a map intake and a full turbo back exhaust. It dynoed at like 300 and 300 even at 20 PSI on 93, and it's about 350 on E60. So, and that was still with a little bit more room to grow. So today I gotta install that fluid dampener, since I gotta wait till tomorrow for all my other parts to come in. And I had just went to Harbor Freight and got me a new low profile jack, a compression tester, because I have not compression tested the WRX, I mean not the WRX, but the Evo since I've built it. I have not compression checked it. So, you know, I got 2 jack stands, and then I got this little baby right here, which I want to try out, because, you know, that 1200 foot-pounds of torque should give me no issues. So I'm hoping that it doesn't. I got to do a lot of stuff. All right, guys. I am a tuner. I do tune both of these cars, but there's a lot of stuff to be done between both of these cars, especially this one. The main story on this was that I've had it since 2014. While I was out in Kansas, I was never into cars. Never into cars when I got this car. Like, this is my first like turbocharged car, and that was that. Like, when I first got it, it needed a clutch job. So the first ever working on a car was pulling the trans out of this on jack stands in the middle of winter with snow on the ground in my garage, and that was a pain in the ass. It was a big learning curve. I managed to get it done though, right? So this was the start. This was before I started tuning. This was before I even got into cars. This car is what got me into cars. After I got the trans done, I was like, I won't make more power. So I learned how to do the cams and the springs, and I've done the springs both ways. I've removed the head in the car, you know, applying pressure to the cylinders to keep the valves up. I've done every single way that you should do it on this, right? So then I had it professionally tuned by Test Comp. That's when I was like, man, this tuning stuff looks really, really cool. So I got my own laptop, I got EvoScan and ECU Flash, and I started reading a whole bunch of guides on how to tune these cars. Say I did a pretty good job because I was beating a lot of people. That helped out a lot because I was able to beat a lot of people with that tune on the car. And at the same time, I was able to, you know, people would ask me like, hey man, who tunes your car? I would sit there and tell them like, hey, I did it myself. So I was able to tune more other people's cars, but that's another video for another day. A lot of people ask me, how did I get into tuning? Well, I'll explain it in another video. I started tuning these cars. So I ended up moving back to Gaithersburg, Maryland. And well, guys, I'm gonna tell you, my car blew up, and it was all my fault. All right, it didn't technically blow up, but the transmission seized. Right before I left Kansas, I did a complete walk through the car, and I was like, man, there's a little bit of fluid at the bottom. I think it's coming from the trans. Wasn't really too sure. And by the time I drove 1,000 miles back to Maryland, I kind of just like forgot about it. So a couple months went by, and I had a couple months, yeah, because I got there in August. A couple months went by. I think it was like January-ish. Yeah, it was about January-ish. I totally forgot about the leak, right? I'm driving on the highway, and next thing you know, the car just starts acting really weird. Like, you know when your car starts to act weird. Like, it's not you just have a feeling like something's wrong. So I'm like, I tell Stephanie, I'm like, hey, I need to pull over. So I pull over really quick. As soon as I get over, the car just comes to a complete stop, like dead stop. And I tried to take it out of gear, and it was not getting out of gear. And I was like, damn it, that leak. So the trans head went because all the fluid drained out of it, and it got too hot and seized up, blah, blah, blah. I had to tow this back. I pulled the whole motor. I sold everything because I had a good deal on a fully built everything. And I think that was my mistake because I had all that money in the bank account. I started buying other toys, DSMs, bikes, and stuff like that. So it kind of screwed me up in the long run. The car sat from 2015 all the way until a couple months ago, probably July or August. And I finally, since I started in about tuning, I was able to save up a lot more money and just get the car up and running. I kind of flew to Maryland, ordered all the stuff. I flew to Maryland and put it all together at Nexus Motorsports, the shop that I used to tune for. Well, I still tune for, and I drove it down here. In the midst of that, I kind of just put it together in a shitty way just to make it down here. So like, if I show you guys, I literally bought like $200 seats. They're all ripped up, so I gotta replace those. I didn't even have like an interior piece in here. I don't even have a glove compartment box. Like, the seats are just straight up ass. Alrighty, so this is exactly what I'm gonna be replacing with the new one, and once it's replaced, I will show you guys. For you guys that don't know, just to replace this, you crank this back to relieve the tension on the belt. You remove the belt from the crankshaft pulley, you hit these 4 bolts, and then this just pulls right off. Put it back on, tighten these down till I think 20 foot-pounds, put the belt back on track, and you're good to go. Alrighty guys, new one installed, old one is out. Time to put the wheels on and see how it feels. We took it out for a quick drive. Stephanie gave it a ride too. There's definitely less vibration. I haven't been over 4K, so I'm not really too sure if it's full, like if we got rid of all of it, but it's definitely not as much as it was before. So I think that product really ended up working in my favor. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I will be back with another video. Please subscribe if you like the channel, and see you guys later.